It's like I love music. I love the music aspect of the music. So let me just say that. Like, if this is what you do, do it because you love it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't do it for all the other things. You know what I mean? It seems like sometimes that's put in front of
The art.
the music, and that's what makes it yucky for me.
We sound crazy.
That's the vibes this week. Another edition of We Sound Crazy. Your boy Fillionaire is in the building.
Claude Kelly is in the building.
What's up? Chuck Harmony is in the building.
Bacon for Macon. It's in the building.
And we got a very special guest this week, an amazing human being who I've actually had the pleasure of working with over the years. Some years back, we'll talk about that later in the episode. But she's an amazing songwriter, producer, artist, entrepreneur, just an all-around amazing person, and got another hit record out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. My friend Leela James is in the building. Finally,
Leela James.
Finally.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to the
Finally.
couch.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
It feels good to be here.
Yeah.
This is
And
really
welcome back to
nice.
Nashville.
Thank you. I love it here. Actually.
You do?
I do. I worked here on a couple projects a few years back, and I always loved the city. It just has its own vibe.
It does.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
And I used to say it's like the South's best kept secret. You know what I mean? Everybody go to Atlanta, but I'm
Right.
like, they've been sleeping on Nashville.
That's what we're trying. That's all we're trying to say.
Yeah. You
I'm
hear
just
that?
saying.
Visit Music City?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to say.
Yeah, it's cool vibes.
And there's so
yeah.
many creative people here. I mean, like musicians on top of musicians on top of musicians.
Yeah.
You get a lot done here.
It's growing too, because the last time I was here, I was like, I don't remember all these buildings.
Yeah.
Where I was like,
crazy.
oh my gosh.
Now
like,
we live here, and I feel like every time we get downtown, it's like a new city. Cause
yeah,
there's cranes and buildings going
yeah.
up. and
I don't remember that. Like
No.
I'm like,
It was way
what-
more sleepy before. It's not a sleepy
Yeah,
town no more.
yeah. No, it's definitely like city-fied.
It's expensive too.
Really?
Damn,
Yeah, it was a little bit cheaper when I first moved here.
Oh, yes.
It's going
it
up.
was.
12
Yeah, a
years
lot.
ago.
It's
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
12
Yeah.
years. I've been-
Everybody ain't got to come here. Just the good people got to.
We gotta do a
The
cutoff.
good people like this got to come here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, folks finding out about it, so you know,
Yeah, man.
they gonna start transferring.
That's happening already.
Yeah.
That's what it is now. Like I keep hearing that someone you know is moving here or been living here. Especially during the pandemic, people snuck in, and you didn't know until we all came back outside.
Yeah.
And you go to a show, you're like, "What you doing here?"
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
the new wave, basically.
Yeah.
But we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
We sound crazy.
Would you catch me if I fall for you? 'Cause I'm falling.
One of my favorite songs.
Listen,
Thank you.
That Fall for You.
that record is like, I've been to maybe since that record come out, I've been to like maybe 4 or 5 weddings, and I've heard that song.
Yeah.
That song is like a go-to song. You can like put that in the repertory for
wedding
Weddings.
music.
wedding music for
I mean,
real.
people always need songs about falling in love.
Yeah.
I think we forget
Yeah.
that you need that.
And I do feel like for a long time we reused the same songs
yeah.
over and over again. So it was nice to
Yeah.
A new anthem.
a new anthem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Like,
crazy when Simone Biles got married to it.
Yeah.
She walked down the aisle. I was like, oh.
You're like, you can curse here, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's real, like, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that was like a big moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you get married, you know, that's special. And so for her to use that song, I thought, like, wow. And then her dude was crying and was stuff.
See?
Oh.
I was like, oh, he about to catch her.
You're so known for your vocals, but people don't talk about your songwriting as much. Can you share some insight about how you got started writing songs and where you at now with writing songs?
I've been writing. I mean, I was doing both, but I definitely was writing back in the day. I was signed in 1999 Rough Nation Records, formerly Rough House, Chris Schwartz, distributed through Warner Brothers, and I had like a publishing deal and was writing. For other artists, I work with Kanye West and Wyclef and Raphael Sadiq on those projects. So a lot of stuff didn't come out at the time because it was, the politics and the industry bullshit.
BS. Yep, exactly.
But I did a lot of stuff for different ones early on, and I continued doing my own thing. And they finally put my project out 2005, like 5 years later.
5 years later.
You know what I'm saying? It was shelved that whole time. So it was
What?
yeah, it
I
was.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it was hella old by the time. For me, it was
Really?
old. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, because Rough Nation went through all these changes, and then it was several different regime changes at Warner Brothers, from the people that started there versus the people that ended up putting my project out, Tom Wiley. And by that time, like I said, it was just a whole different thing. And I think it was the whole trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
But I was still grateful that, a lot of the artists was dropped and they still kept me and put my project out, even though, like I said, it was by that time 5 years old.
And the songs stand up. Sometimes that's not the case. Like 5
Yeah.
years later, you might not be in the same place. The songs might not sound fresh anymore.
Right.
So when we first heard that first single, Music, from A Change Is Gonna Come, that was 5 years old by the time?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I remember being a senior in high school when I was like, who is this? Like, on I saw the fro on VH1. I was just like, yo, she is dope. Like, the voice just cut through everything else that was out at the time. And I was like, her voice is so unique. Yeah, I still have the same CD that I bought.
Oh, man,
ago.
thank you.
Yeah.
That was fun. I remember that. We shot that in my old neighborhood in L.A.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow, you took me back.
And the crazy thing is, it'll be what, 20 years old in a couple years?
Yeah, it's about 20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it technically is 20 years old because we
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
recording it 98, 99. We was working on a lot of those songs, so it's been a minute.
For you personally, what's different recording and touring now than it was 20, 25 years
Social
ago?
media, that's the biggest difference, I see. Because, when we was recording and back then and doing shows, it was Joe's Pub, SOBs in New York. And,
Yeah.
we had the spots over in L.A., the Good Life. I mean, not Good Life, the Gig. It was a spot. But there was no social media to promote your stuff like how it is now. So it's like you could do one little show out here and post it on social media and everybody on tour. Yeah. You know what I mean? Back then it was just like, no, we really out here. You know what I'm saying? But and unless you was in the trenches with them, you really wouldn't know. Like I remember doing shows with Macy Gray and Black Eyed Peas and stuff like that. And they was really, really on the road. But people probably wouldn't know like how they would know now because social media, has really, really helped. And I think when you just recording in general now, you have this as access. So with a lot of new artists, I'm always telling them like, you don't really have no excuse. Like we had to like, you know what I mean? Go extra hard, just to get somebody to
Listen.
pay attention. Now y'all could just drop a song like everybody winning, everybody, you know what I mean? I think that's the biggest difference, just having the platform of social media to help promote and market your stuff.
So you like social media then?
I think it's a blessing and a curse. I think social media is definitely, as we said, I'm saying it's good to promote certain things, but I mean, there's also some cons to it too that, I feel like it's overload at times, and then it can be destructive. And, we got a lot of new generation young kids that are like depressed. I'm like, damn, what you so messed up about? You know what I mean? We was outside riding bikes, you know what I mean? We was turning out. It's like young kids, they just walking around like, damn, but they caught up in everything that they see, and it's so much of it. It got their mind twisted, and like you feeling like life, if my life ain't looking like her, or if my butt ain't big as that, or if if I ain't got his money, then like I'm a failure, I'm a loser. And it's like, nah, like we was broke in the hood and happy as hell.
Happy as hell.
Happy.
That's when we was
You know what
happy.
I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And
Happy and
and
fed
wore
and chilling.
braids, everything, and it was like that was okay. But like I think now it's a lot, so.
Yeah.
It's interesting because on one hand, like you said, it's a blessing. On the other hand, when you have access to everything, you also take it all on. So it's like, what I notice is people take on every single emotion, every cause, because it's there for you to get involved in. So you're going down a rabbit hole, and now you're passionate. I'm not saying that it's not all authentic, but you get passionate about everything, and your whole day is just a ball of emotion.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Like I said, it's just it's overload at times.
It's
so
overload.
so and when you gotta, for example, I have a daughter that's 12 years old and friends that got kids that are younger than that. Some of the stuff that we all have access to, they're seeing, that's a lot. It's a lot for me.
It's a lot for me. Yeah.
So I'm like, if you 10, 12 years old and you seeing all of this, you're like, golly, what kind of world, do we live in? And I think it's just sometimes a bit too much. And then again, it's helpful. It's like, my daughter, she don't know nothing about, I have to take her to the library and like, this is what we used to do. We used to go sit in here and look for the stuff and there's an encyclopedia, blah, blah, blah. What is that? You know what I mean? So it's, it's easy for them. They can just Google whatever. Oh, I didn't do my homework. I'm like, let me just look it up. And I'm just like, what? So it's helpful on the one hand. It makes certain things easy for people, whether it's like something as simple as finding a recipe, whereas my grandma used to make me stay in the kitchen with them.
And watch.
You know what I mean? They can go online and, find out how to cook this, and now they're a chef. I'm like, whatever, So it's good, but it's also like, it's just a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
You know what, Leela? One of my favorite songs outside of your own repertoire, of your catalog, that you wrote. I don't know if many people know this.
I'm so in love. Oh, baby. I'm so.
What do you remember about that session creating that song?
It was very organic, just like this. We just went in. I don't really, this is probably not the best thing, but when I write, I don't really write on paper the way I should.
I don't either.
So I go in and, we're just vibing and, let's hear what, what the music is doing, and then we get on the track, and that's what came out. Just start playing with melodies, and then you fill in the blanks, with the lyrics, and it was just pretty much like this, just kind of just chilling.
A jam session. Yeah.
And that was it.
Is that the best way for you, as far as being comfortable writing?
Yeah, I don't. I think when you think about it, you overthink. So I don't never go into my sessions with like, I'm gonna make this type of song today, and it has to be this, and it, you know what I mean. We got to make it for the radio. Like, nah, just do what you feel, and whatever comes. Like stuff you gonna scrap and then some stuff you gonna stick with. But if you put that pressure on you mentally, I feel like you can think yourself out of the creative moment.
That's true.
Of just being able to make art, because that's what it is at the end of the day, and it's all a matter of interpretation.
And you and Jill are good friends.
That's my girl. I love Jill. I love most of these chicks in this game, folk.
Who are you listening to right now?
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
As you should.
Wait.
As you
She
should.
was like, right here.
For real, I just put out a record, so I'm listening
that
to
record
my
is amazing.
But yo,
Thank you.
People don't realize when you put out music, right, how much you live with your music, especially if you like what you do, right?
Yeah.
I play my music all day.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I listen to other people, but right now, because I just
You're in
dropped
your zone.
it,
Yeah.
I'm like listening to it because this is what it is. Like when I was working on it, I didn't listen to it because once I finish a record, I leave it and I don't bother with it. I don't circle back to it until it's time to, mix and stuff, and you checking the mixes or whatever, and then I still leave it alone. I like fresh ears, and so I don't listen to my music until like now that it's out, because I want to hear like everybody else hears. So I put it in the car, you know what I mean, and just.
Well, let's talk about this new record then. Let's go.
Can't deny it. Don't nobody love me better.
When I listen to the radio version of We Sound Crazy in the different markets, I hear
All
right
the
back
time.
in it. And I was like, oh, the music department was clearly the music department is to my left. Anybody wondering? Don't hit me for the rotation. Don't hit me.
It's baking for making.
It's big for making,
it's
and he
gotta be
always
in rotation.
A lot of love for Leela on the playlist at all times.
That thing rides, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what was the process like of making this album?
Just after we came back after the first of the year, and I was on the fence of actually even doing anything else.
Period. Like you just done.
Not done, but just like sometimes this game be like so yucky to me. When you look at it, and it's just it just why you shouldn't get discouraged it's that sound good on paper, but like sometimes you can easily get like, you know what I mean? And so I was for a moment kind of turned off. And then I work with Rex Fighter. He was like, yo, you just come in the studio. He's like, I already know what you're going to do once you get in the studio. And I'm like, man, I ain't coming. And so that's how I did. We went in the studio, and I can't deny the energy when I'm in the studio. Like, I love music. It's just in me.
Yeah.
And so we would start working on music, and I finished the record like that. So, yeah, it's a very natural, organic. Again, we can't think about it. I can't plan it. It's just like come through the studio
And
we
see what happens.
Yeah. And then you get bit by the bug, and then it's like, okay, now I want to keep going. Catch a rhythm again.
You were saying just. I'm sorry. No. You were saying just now that before you got in, you weren't sure because it can be yucky, and I feel like a lot of artists that we have on the podcast say that, and it's kind of a general thing. But there's a lot of artists who probably look up to you and would love to be doing what you're doing and are following your career. So not to really just rehash all the negative stuff, but what do you mean by yucky? Like, what's yucky to you?
Well, I mean, it's like I love music. I love the music aspect of the music. So let me just say that. Like, if this is what you do, do it because you love it, right? Don't do it for all the other things. You know what I mean? It seems like sometimes that's put in front of
The art.
the music. And that's what makes it yucky for me. Like, when you just, I'm not, at this point, I don't do it for no coin or nothing like that. I'm good. I'm just doing it because I love music. And it is therapy. I can help people. I can help myself in doing so. And so I enjoy it. That's why I do it. But I think sometimes when that's not the agenda, that's what kind of like is the
takes away from the
because now it's like it's not genuine. It's gimmicky. It's like that ain't really what you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? This in me. I didn't go to school for this. But, you know what I mean?
Leela,
like
you can say how you just freely.
I'm saying, like, it's like it's when you just do, again, when it's something that's in you and you're passionate about and you do it just because you love it, all the other stuff is extra. Like, that's where the reward comes from. When I look at my children's face and they like, mommy, they get excited, or all your different other things that make for why you do it, for me, is what's more important. But sometimes that's not what we're all seeing. And so what we get presented a lot of times is the turn off, because I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with the music though.
Right.
And so then you just like, I don't want to be a part of that shit, because when you solid and you real in your shit, anything fake just is not cool.
It's off-putting. Yep.
There you go.
So I got to ask you, because originally you were with Rough House and Warner Brothers on the major label side, but now you have your own label. She Sings Music through BMG, so you own your masters.
Yeah.
How does it? I mean, indie versus major.
Right.
It's good. It's like the other sisters. It could be a blessing, curse. Like, I'm loving it though right now because I'm pretty much recruit, and so I see my money. Like, for the first time
Can you say that again? Because people don't understand the recruitment. There's artists that were signed 2 and 3 decades ago that are still
not
recouped.
Like I'm straight, and so and that feels good, because that's like you said, a lot of times we toil, we work, we scuffle and scrape, and still, sometimes go to our grave like not owning crap, or not having nothing. And so as artists, I mean, as much as you love it, it also feels good to get paid for what you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially, again, I started mid-90s with some of this, and it's like to finally start seeing some of that hard work paying off, sleeping in cars and all that stuff I went through back in the day. Yeah, I feel like I deserve it. And so,
you do.
What advice would you offer an artist that's considering, whether it's an emerging artist or an established artist that's considering going the independent route? What advice would you offer?
I mean, you're still a business, and so you got to take the good with the bad and running with having a business. And so I would say, if you're going to go the independent route, there's things that are not going to come as easy as it would if you had a big machine behind you, to help push things along. And so be prepared for that. You got to invest a lot of your own, make some sacrifices, and, it might not look the same as what a major, but your reward can look the same if you put in this type of work.
That's good.
That matches it.
That's good.
I'm interested in knowing with this record specifically? Was right back in it like the catalyst for everything else that kind of came behind it to create the full body of work, or was there another song or just moment with?
Yeah, you know what? It's always This was the first record that we recorded, and after doing that, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go and finish, and it set the tone for what I wanted to do with the rest of the record. So yes, it was the busting of the cherry for me again.
And Kevin Ross, our friend to the show, is also on the remix.
Yeah.
Kevin Ross, that's my homie. Yeah, he got on the remix. Another really talented artist, just always putting out dope records. It's so many artists, so many artists, and it's so much music, independent artists. I chuckle sometimes when that little, I think it was just a marketing thing, but when they say R&B is dead, that's a lie.
Always has been a lie.
R&B is alive and soul been alive, because soul ain't gonna ever die.
That
You know what I'm
part.
saying? Soul is here to stay. So I get excited when other artists put out music, are successful. I know the Shandellas, shout out. It's like it's so much right now, and when you can collaborate with another artist, that's even better.
Now you say that you've been, listening to your own music. Is there a go-to song of yours on this project that you just are just over the moon about?
I mean, I like a lot of this. It's no skits for me.
Yeah.
But there's this record that it just reminds me of my roots, which is the Southern. I was born in Cali, but my family from the South, so I had that mixture of like that juke joint bluesy funk thing. And so it's this joint called Faded.
Yeah,
And,
that's the
you
song
know what I
love.
mean? I know what you know.
He
What
was
I'm
waiting
saying?
to say
Yes.
that.
I
So
was
we
hoping
all
you'd say
remember them
that.
house parties when my uncles and everybody, my dad and everybody was getting faded, and they was playing the blues, and it was So
We call them shot houses where I'm from.
Shout houses.
What you call him, Timon?
Shot houses.
Won't let me go, got me going insane. Something about your loving got me feeling something, baby, I just can't explain.
I want to ask you, because when you say soul in Everywhere Nowhere, it's because it's so much a part of, even now when you're moving, but in your voice and in your movement and in the lyrics. Who are your influences?
The Shirley Caesars, the Mavis Staples, you know what I mean, the Mighty Clouds of Joy.
Mighty Clouds, bro.
Yeah, like my
Mighty Clouds.
pops played a lot of that. The Al Green, Aretha. We call them the thick singers, the fat singers, the fat voices.
Yeah.
The thick singers, Phil.
That it's the grit, the Bobby Womack's. I like the Sam Cooks, and that's honestly what I still listen to. If you really want to be real, that is what gets me going. And the Bobby Blue Blends, and I love blues, and that for me, when it make you have
That face right there. That face right there.
the backwood church,
Yeah.
That's what I was raised on.
Okay.
I mean, because we didn't have a lot, but we had music. Our living room probably was about this big.
Yeah.
But it was, again, we was happy. It was smoke filled. It was cars and spades and this and smelling like chicken. Like it was soul. You know what I mean? Like it was a time I enjoyed, and I appreciate my upbringing.
Yeah.
What was your first music memory? Like the first time you were captured by a song, artist, album?
Well, my dad always played records because he drank. So when he was drinking, he would put the ring on and it was spinning. And I just always remember the Spinners playing. Always somewhere around we heard the Spinners, Cupid. He was big on, they still are, but big on Al Green, like I said. And I heard a lot of Parliament. Parliament on the West Coast, I think in LA, funk was big. You can just go outside and hear some funky stuff between that and Rick James and, Zap, So I heard a lot of that. And I just remember, feeling like, dang, I want to do this one day, standing on my porch and just, we was just enjoying. But the porch, I was like, I want to sing, too.
It happened. It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
We sound crazy.
Tricks, and I'm tired of trying to fix it. My patience is non-existent. So do what you wanna do.
I Was Your Woman. For my special guest this week, Leela James featuring Yo-Yo.
Yeah,
Featuring
she was
Yo-Yo.
like,
Yeah. it was good to hear her. When I was listening to Down to the album, I was like, who is this? And then I'm like, oh, that's Yo-Yo. Because I was like, I know that voice sounds familiar.
Shout out to our Cafe Mocha sister, Yo-Yo.
Love my Yo-Yo. That's my family for real. Our parents actually come from the same little town in Texas.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, so we like kinfolk for real.
Yeah. Wow. Are these songs based off of true stories, or is just
some of them? Yeah.
Some of them. She's like, I've been going through some shit. Yeah.
I write direct. I always say I write directly and indirectly about life. So I mean, that day that's what I was on.
The thing that I love about the record is
someone's in trouble.
The thing I love about this album is that it's because a lot of times you have albums with 25 songs, and it's just like, why?
Right.
You have 9 solid songs on your album, and it takes me back to like Anita Baker Rapture that had 8 songs, or
Hit 'Em Hard and Sit Down.
Yeah, like
Don't waste people's
it's
time.
9 solid songs. Like, do you go into the album making process thinking, okay, I want 9 songs on this record. I want 15. Like, how does that?
No, we definitely that part. We gonna do 9. That's the business side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rex was like,
there's a cutoff.
Like, I mean, again, these days the game's so different. Like, people's attention span's this short. They gonna like most of the people are now that listen to 1 or 2 songs. They stream it. They don't even know your album.
Yeah.
What's the point? I'm finna do all that. Like, get these 9 and be good. Like, we straight. Like 9, 9 is enough. Like this, and like you said, back in the day. Like, that's what it was. And even my dad, like, when I remember the records and the 45s and stuff, it wasn't a whole lot, like, who gonna do that? Who got time for that? We got other stuff to do. We got to go pick up the kids. Like, we got to do life. Can't listen to 25 records, man. Listen. Spread it out.
Anybody got time for that?
No. I mean, if you could do that, fine. But, I mean, that's not for me. I mean, they ain't gonna pay you after a certain amount anyway. So
there's the business side. There's that.
It's that.
So Leela,
the business side.
Mount Rushmore of music, all genres, all artists, all groups. Your Mount Rushmore of music, Leela James.
James Brown.
Boom.
Aretha. Okay. Michael. How many more I got?
One more.
One more? I'm going to say Prince.
Okay. I wanted to know your Mount Rushmore of thick voice singers.
The Mount Rushmore of thick voices.
I like that.
Mavis Staples, Shirley Caesar, Betty Wright. How many more?
One more.
Well, I like Lynn Collins. I really like Lynn Collins.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then it's Shirley Brown. It's so many.
There's many, but I like that list too. I like that list too. Are there people that you haven't worked with that you're like, oh God, I would just love to do a duet or someone with this person? I'm curious to know.
Okay, so Stevie and I have been talking because he said he see me.
You gotta chill. You say you see me, but
But like, what I mean? I would love to work with Stevie Wonder. He's another great one. He actually should be on Mount Rushmore.
He's his own Mount Rushmore
let's
to
be
me.
Clear.
Yeah.
So yes, he's that. Stevie Wonder. I like a lot of the new cats right now. I think her is extremely talented. And then I love Lauryn Hill, y'all.
Yeah. I do too.
I like
We
Lauryn.
do too. We
We love Lauryn.
Miss
Lauryn Hill. Excuse me, Miss Lauryn Hill. I would love that. I would love you and I could hear you and Miss Lauryn Hill on something. Everyone you mentioned though.
We sound crazy.
So I couldn't have you on this couch as the executive producer of R&B Divas and R&B Divas LA without at least talking about that fun time, because you joined us on season 2 and 3 of R&B Divas LA.
Correct. Yeah.
How was the experience?
It was fun for me. It was, right towards the end, it got a little weird, but I loved all the ladies. We had some fun moments. I think realistically, you can't put too many females in a certain environment and don't expect some, foolishness
Some
after a while,
yeah.
pettiness. I think that's just the nature of
Life.
things. But other than that, like, it was a good time for a hot second. Yeah.
For a hot second.
Yeah.
Brief, but amazing.
No, we did some cool stuff for a minute. Like, I think we was in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Like, that was fun because I hadn't been to Puerto Rico, so I'm like, yeah, that was cool. I mean, I had been to Puerto Rico, but
not like that.
Yeah, when we were able to actually go and spend some time and do some like positive things, those were the moments that I just actually enjoyed.
Would you do reality TV again?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It just, I think it's with anything. It depends on
The circumstances, what it's about, who's behind it.
Phil, give me another show.
Yeah,
Right here on camera.
Yeah. Phil, I need a real show. Phil is my man.
Okay, so let's work this out right now. Let's do business on air.
Oh, okay, my agent.
What kind of show does Leela James want? How do you want people to see you, experience you, learn about you?
Well, I think it's funny because I know other artists that are like mothers, for example, and I'm a mother. I'm a single mother, and I think there's a side of this game that still wasn't tapped in. One of the things I did like about R&B Divas, we were slowly going to get into like showing some of our real lives, and like at the time, what people don't see that it's not always glamour and glitz, and just trying to balance being a woman, being a mama, being a single mama, the stuff you go through, doing that. And I would love like that other side. You got artists like myself, Selena Johnson, mother, A.V. Sunshine, mother. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because, when I hit the stage and I leave my house, it's not just me. I'm preparing my kids too, and trying to raise a child in this and be an artist is two different faces, and your children only going to know one because they don't care about none of this. And I think that is something that we don't see enough of, just the other side of real life as female. And I'm sure there's some men too, but we talking about the women as mothers.
You worried about them right now.
That's real. I wish, because it's only 42 minutes of television, and we're dividing that amongst the entire cast. But it was such good times, and I appreciate you because you always, what you see right here is really, it was not coached, it wasn't produced. Like Leela was like, this is what it is, this is what's going on in my life, this is what's happening, and that's what we captured. So
straightforward.
Really grateful for you.
Yeah, thank you. I was grateful for the opportunity. Thank you again for the call when y'all made that happen. I appreciate it.
I don't regret it. It was actually, you were consistent the whole time, so I appreciate you. Tell me, what was one of your favorite moments and least favorite moments from R&B Divas LA? You can be honest with me. I just want to know, like.
Yeah, no, one of my favorite moments, we were able to celebrate my best friend who ended up passing of cancer. We had a celebration of life and for her, and y'all actually tell it was on Cat. That was good, but then my least favorite moment was that same season when it was all the foolishness surrounding putting that show together, and it was a lot of falling out. And I was in my feelings because I knew that she was literally, weeks away from passing, and so I just wasn't trying to hear a whole lot of dumb stuff, and I was extra sensitive, and so it was one of my least favorite moments in taping because I couldn't mourn the way that I wanted to. And, so it was manifesting itself in a manner where I'm just like, y'all finna get some real in a minute. But it wasn't, like I said, it was still an enjoyable time, but that death ain't gonna ever feel good or look good, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you can't be happy about it at all. Even when you try to just have your strong game face on, when somebody is dear to you is on their way out, you ain't gonna be in the best mood no matter what.
We sound crazy.
You and me, we used to be together, every day together, always.
I just got chills. I got chills.
Man.
I got chills, damn it.
Listen, that's when we found out we were going to be speaking, the first thing that came into my mind was that cover, because I remember 2005, summer of 05, exactly, buying that album and just letting it play all the way through. I was still at my mama's house then. And I was like, this song sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, she did a No Doubt cover.
A No Doubt cover.
And that's like,
all right.
yeah, it's amazing. Like, how did you land on that particular song to cover?
I love all kinds of music, number one.
Yeah.
And I am still a huge No Doubt fan. Gwen Stefani, we actually, she hit me up too and was like, I love the way you did my record.
Wow.
Like,
That's crazy.
and it was such a huge compliment. But I just always listened to all kinds of music and hip hop and rock and roll, and that was just one that I could hear past the quote unquote pop rock.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to flip it and show like
The soul in
the
it.
soul version of it. And so Commissioner Gordon and I, we went in when we was working on this project, and I was like, just give me a hip hop beat, and I'm just gonna sing it raw and put my backgrounds. And they were like, what? No Doubt. I was like, yeah, we ain't doing it like that. Just slow it down though. Give me a sample beat. And then that's what happened. They was like, oh shit. By the time it was done, it was like,
When them guitars coming on the chorus.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah. And so it was a moment.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Definitely a moment. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of a well-timed cover because people don't realize. I mean, as a songwriter, of course, we want to write everything, but covers have a really powerful place when done right like that. And you think about how you flip it, who's singing it. So it's one of my favorite songs. Period. Don't Speak is one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, the original was
amazing. Is just a perfect song, but the way you did it is so uniquely and equally good.
Thank you.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's hard to do. So kudos to that. But I love that.
Thank you. We had fun doing it. I do remember that. And the guitar player, such a blues head. Yeah. So that was all like one take.
What?
I remember it was just the soul, just do it soulfully. Yeah. That's it.
I would like Leela James, Gwen Stefani mashup duet live on television or something.
That would be crazy.
Or live on here. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all never have worked out how to catch up? Because that'd be bomb.
No, I mean, those worlds haven't connected like that yet, but she definitely did reach out, hit me up, and was very complimentary of the record. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many records that I feel like, can be interwoven in that sense that people may not think to tap into. But like one more, I was a huge and still am a Cyndi Lauper fan time after time.
I love that song.
Let me lean in because Cyndi, we don't talk about Cyndi enough, right?
Like, cause some records you're like, imagine if so and so was singing that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I mean, no shade, but it's just something. When that season saw hit certain things, it's just different.
Season song.
You know what I mean?
Oh, Lord.
So let's do a game of keep or
I was
kill.
going to say the same thing. Let's play Keep or Kill. Phil.
Leela's gonna keep it. She's gonna keep it all the way 100 with us, right?
Oh,
keep it a buck. So I'll kick it off because you mentioned both of these people in your Mount Rushmore: Michael Jackson or Prince.
Jesus.
Oh gosh, that ain't fair. I'm gonna keep Prince.
Keep Prince.
See? That's
Whitney-
my friend.
Whitney or,
He said that's my friend.
Whitney or Mariah?
Whitney,
Mary or Faith?
Mary,
Keeping Mary. All right.
Usher or Bruno Mars.
Usher,
Jodeci or Drew Hill?
Jodeci,
Jasmine Sullivan or Brandy.
Y'all ain't playing fair. Shout out to Faith Evans, my homegirl, Gemini twin. But Brandy.
Brandy.
Janae or Changing Faces?
Johnny.
TLC or In Vogue.
Okay, TLC.
Bill Withers or Babyface?
Yikes.
Bill.
Indie or Major.
Indy.
Leela just
She just flew through it.
She's like, what else you got?
No
What's good?
hesitation at all.
What's good?
That was a good one.
make
was
some
a
noise.
great
Leela
one.
James, keep it kill
That was
edition.
super good. That was super good.
Yeah.
We sound crazy.
Award.
I can feel it
it's about that time. It's about time for the Esther Roll Black Excellence Award. So Leela, at this juncture in the podcast, we have an award that we give out for the black entertainer. Could be singer, artist, behind the scenes, whatever, that we feel doesn't get the love they deserve for their achievements, their accomplishments. I feel like there's so many.
There's many.
There's so many.
Yeah.
So the options are, in my opinion, almost infinite. We all pick somebody and nominate them, and then we vote. But it's a win-win because everyone who gets talked about still gets some love. So
Right.
I'm going to open the floor. We can all vote. We can all nominate, and then we can all vote.
Okay.
Who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Please do.
So I've been y'all know I go down my rabbit holes. I've been listening to a lot of this man's albums. Unfortunately he's no longer with us. I'm gonna put James Ingram
Wow.
on the floor today. I mean, he wasn't just R&B. He wasn't just soul. Like, he crossed over to pop. Like, I Don't Have the Heart, Somewhere Out There. When You Love Someone with Anita Baker. 100 Ways, baby. Like, so many hits, and no one ever. Like, he was an astute background vocalist, like singing on all those Quincy Jones records.
Sure was.
And singing with Patty Austin and on Michael Jackson's records and stuff like that. Like, no one ever talks about him, so I just felt like we need to give him some love today.
Yeah,
So,
dope voice.
yes.
Super dope voice.
Like,
Amazing voice.
range out of this world.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in. Kind of similar, actually. I was watching Christmas movies over the holidays, and I saw a Christmas movie from, maybe 2-3 years ago that was starring Regina Bell. And I was like,
What? What's the name of that movie?
I'll send it to you. But I was like, why are we not talking about Regina Bell?
Yeah, she's doing shows right now because my homeboy is playing for her drums too.
Really?
And she has a great show. Shout out Pat Williams.
I'm talking about someone that had groundbreaking Disney records, solo records. I love Regina Bell, so I'm nominating Regina Bell.
She's dope.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll go. This artist is amazing. She's had a recent resurgence some weeks ago with her song Encore. Amazing artist, songwriter, amazing person. Cheryl Lynn.
Absolutely.
Cheryl,
Yes.
love it.
Great. That's a good one.
I want to go to Cleveland and nominate Bone Thugs and Harmony.
You know what? You know how I feel about Bone
What
Thugs.
an influential rap group on not just hip hop but R&B. Like, we still doing those cadences. So I want to nominate Bone Thugs.
I like that. I got two actually.
I like that.
I'm gonna go with Phyllis Hyman.
Yes.
She's no longer with us.
But
I
deserves.
just felt like she checked out too because she didn't. From what I understand, she probably felt like she wasn't appreciated.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna say her. And then on a hip hop note, recently I was following on social media and he posted something that made me say, yeah, he's kind of dope. He put the West Coast on the map too. But I'm gonna say DJ Quick.
That's super good.
Yeah.
Artist and producer.
Yeah,
man.
So just to recap, we got James Ingram, Regina Bell, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Cheryl Lynn, Phyllis Hyman, and DJ Quick. We can vote as many times as you want this first go round. If we hit a tie, we'll go to the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
First up, James Ingram.
Nah, it got 4 votes. It got 4
That's
votes.
good. Still your racist.
I love James Ingram. Yeah. Regina Bell.
I love Baby Come to Me.
Show
Right.
me the way.
All right, so 4 for Regina.
Yeah.
Cheryl Lynn. That's 5 hands showing.
5 hands. There's people behind the scenes with their hands raised for Cheryl. All right. Shout out Tiffany. All right.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Wow, that's
Now
racist.
that's racist.
That's racist.
I love Bone Thugs.
That's black on black crime right there.
3 out
That's
of
all
5.
that.
3 out of 5.
Here we go.
Phyllis Hyman.
I love Phyllis.
I love Phyllis.
Ooh. On 5 again. DJ Quick. Yeah, I gotta get Quick that too.
All right, so that's
So-
4.
So we got 3.
It's a tie between Phyllis Hyman
And Cheryl Lynn.
and Cheryl Lynn.
Whoa.
And DJ Quick. Didn't
Nah,
everybody?
I didn't raise my hand for him.
I'm going to scoot over here.
I don't believe my hand was up. With all due love to Mr. Quick.
Lord.
So this go round, Leela, we can only vote once.
Okay.
So it's between Cheryl Lynn and Phyllis Hyman.
All right, this is hard.
This is
okay,
hard.
This is hard.
This is hard because these are two of my favorites. But let's start it off with Phyllis Hyman. I'm gonna go with Phyllis too. So is it 2 out of 5? I see. Yeah. All right. Well, that means Cheryl Lynn.
I mean, that's dope because she's still here, so she can definitely
She's still here.
receive.
Congratulations,
Absolutely.
Cheryl Lynn.
Yay.
You are the recipient of this week's Estoril Black Excellence Award.
Super dope, yo. I love that.
Good stuff.
Leela? Go on.
No, please go.
No.
Just let people know what the plans are to keep seeing you and keep falling in love with you and that music.
Definitely, I'm hitting the road top of the year. Just got back from Europe, and so now I'm going back out on tour at the top. Follow me on my social media platforms to find all the cities and places we'll be. But I'm excited about that. I love to tour. The reason why I say the stage over the recording, it's not that one is necessarily better than the other, but I love being able to really connect with the people directly.
Yeah.
That comes with touring and performing live, and I feel like they connect even more so with your music after they have seen you live.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that.
And you have Europe on lock.
Make sure you go to Australia. When we was in Australia, we heard a lot of Leela James.
Sure did.
Oh yeah, I've been over there and I love it.
Yeah.
I was over there a few years ago and had a great time. I actually love performing overseas in general.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
Me too.
It's a great
So
time.
good.
And Leela, I know coming up Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite cruise, I'm gonna be up there hanging out too. By the way, surprise! I'll be there. I'll be out there. So I'm excited it's gonna be a great lineup. So I can't wait to see you on that stage as you speak up.
Oh,
so.
that's nice.
Thank you.
When is that?
It's in February, like around Valentine's. You know,
Around Valentine's.
right about now.
Right about now.
If ever you're in Nashville, please come back and kick it with us.
I would love to come back here. Again, I love the city. You guys have been so welcoming. This has been absolutely fun too. It's like kicking it with my brothers.
Yeah,
or
we're
something,
chilling.
like for real. And I would definitely come back.
Come
Y'all
back.
had me.
And just so you all, this is also me and Chuck's studio.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
Oh,
You can come back
okay.
and-
Well,
and we
it's
can do-
actually very lit. I saw all the flags on the wall.
so
I was like, yeah.
you can also come and
come.
do some music.
Come do some music with your
I'm
boys.
with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I love it. And it's tucked away. At first, I ain't gonna lie. When we pulled up, I was like, this on some Get Out. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
I don't know where I am.
I was like, I said, this ain't,
We gotta keep it incognito.
Yeah, you gotta keep
We
it
gotta
hidden.
keep it
Yeah.
incognito.
He said, somebody comes to the door and they hand rattling with the cup. We go. Back to the car.
But once you know where we at, once you know where We Sound Crazy is and everything, then you're always welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you. No,
So-
it's really cool.
Please come back. We Sound Crazy. Listen, if you're following, you should be following Leela James, of course, but also follow We Sound Crazy. We Sound Crazy everywhere.
We Sound Crazy and WeSoundCrazy.com. Special thanks to our partners at Visit Music City.
Yes.
Thank you for your continued support.
Yes.
Yay.
Hit play on that album and just let it rock.
Let
I'm
it
telling
ride.
you.
Now, Leela, before we leave, we allow our special guests to pick the song that we go out on. The song that just feels like in your mind, that's after the conversation, this is what we should be saying goodbye on.
Thought you knew. Shit. Thought you knew.
Hey, there you go.
Hell yeah.
And
There
there
you
you
go.
have it.
There it go, right there.
There it is.
There it
Until
is.
next week. Thank you, Leela James.
Thank you.
We Sound Crazy.
Peace.
What you thought this was?
We sound crazy.